Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fourth episode of StripJourney, a podcast whose main goal is to establish community for those of us that dance this dance style in platform high heels. My name is Moran, and I'm a dancer from Copenhagen, Denmark. When I think back, around a year ago, I went to my first strip dance convention, and it's been an absolute game changer for me and for my dancing. So it makes sense that I would try to talk to the organizers of what is probably in Europe the biggest strip dance convention. So let's go. So welcome everybody again. Thank you for joining me. And today we're going back to Prague in Czech Republic. And I have with me Eve. Hello.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi Morano.
Great to have you with me. Can we start with you giving just a quick introduction about yourself?
So my name is Eve and I'm from Prague. I'm a frame-up dancer and choreographer. I'm also founder of Frame-Up Strip CZ, which is like a representation of frame-up strip community in Czech Republic. And I'm a founder of Frame-Up Strip team, which is called Poison.
Wow, lots of stuff. I have so many questions for you, but let's just start with you telling us, how did you start with Frame Up?
It actually was very interesting and unexpected even for me back then, because I think it was 6 years ago. I was dancing in a show group and we were dancing different styles, more like R&B, jazz funk, a little bit of hip hop, high heels. It was like all the different styles. Show group, and just I was going through Instagram and Frame Up was already super popular in Russia, and I saw it and I was like, wow, that looks amazing. I really want to try. So I just looked at some videos and I tried to copy the moves, but of course I didn't have any strip heels back then, nothing. I just was like no shoes. And I really liked it and it felt really natural and good. So I was experimenting with it a bit and checking. That's how I actually started. Then I created a little basic choreo based on the strip moves. And yeah, so it was just random. I saw it and then I was like, yeah, I really like how it looks. So let's try.
Nice. And then did you just start teaching, or how did it go after that?
No. I think 1.5 to 2 years I was dancing it just like hobby, like there and there. I was attending some workshops and I actually brought already back then to Prague Ira Podshivalova, which is almost like frame up star. I think everybody who is into frame up obviously know her. So me and my colleague, we brought her to Prague with the workshops because I really wanted to learn from her. She is such an inspiration up to today, obviously. So we brought her to Prague. We attended the workshop. She taught actually 2 classes. One was like strip plastic and another was frame up. So strip plastic was more like slower moves, more simple. And that class went okayish, and then she taught frame up and we were lost. Like we couldn't do anything. Like it was so like funny and embarrassing at the same time, because I thought back then that it wouldn't be such a disaster, but it was literally a disaster. Like it was terrible. So, and she was like, yeah, guys, this is frame up, like a million moves in 2 seconds, and we couldn't catch anything. And yeah, this was fun. And then we also brought Nastya Michaleva half year later. And that one went better already, but still, like I was just attending classes and also went to frame up camp in Anapa. And yeah, like basically that was the time I understood that I really want to do it. And I dedicated a lot of time already back then to it. I trained a lot and attended classes, but I wasn't teaching up to, I don't know, 3 years ago. Yeah, maybe 3. I'm really lost. For me, it seems like I'm teaching forever, but maybe it's like 3-4 years, something like that. Yeah.
So it was kind of after Corona, I guess, with the teaching.
In the middle of Corona, I started slowly. And then after Corona, I fully started teaching. It was actually thanks to Dani, because she got pregnant and then she was like, hey, I have my groups. I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to completely let girls go. So maybe you give it a try. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to be good in it. I just don't like teaching. It's not my thing. And then she was like, no, just give it a try. And she kind of pushed me into it. And I'm basically, because I'm teaching, it's because of her. I would never start it without her. I would never even think about it that I would be loving it so much as I kind of do now. So that's how I started my teaching.
And now you have so many groups.
Yeah, actually, it's crazy. It's been really crazy. Like the whole teaching journey wasn't so easy because after Corona, people were still a bit shaky and it wasn't really so easy. Not so many people at first. Plus, nobody kind of knew me. So I started really slowly and I had like a small group for a couple of months. And then out of that small group, it grew like crazy so fast. And then it also brought me a lot of friends. Then I had more groups and it grew and grew and grew. And now I'm ending up with like 4 groups and I'm teaching like 4 times a week. Plus I have my team and frame up strip to that. So like my life is literally a lot about frame up currently.
Tell me about Frame of Street. Tell me, how did it come to making conventions?
It was so after Corona, it was difficult to fly to certain places to educate ourselves. Basically, we couldn't visit. There were workshops, the camps because of the money, financial situation. Yeah, it's actually expensive and also time. So I was like, yeah, I really wanna just learn and improve myself because online classes, I'm not a big fan, to be honest, of online, unfortunately. But I tried it and I'm doing it still sometimes, but it's like I want to just learn. I love attending workshops. And I was just at one evening, we had dinner with my student. We talked about like how cool would it be to have people come into Prague. And then they were telling me like, yeah, why don't you want to organize something like that? And I'm like, no, nobody will come. We don't have enough people. It's not going to be like profitable. Just it's going to cost a lot of money. And I just don't have these funds to sponsor the events like that. And they were like, no, just give it a try. Maybe it's going to work. And then I attended myself a high heels convention, like, I don't know, a couple of months before I did a frame up one. And I saw that actually there were a lot of girls and the convention was amazing. I loved it. Even though I don't do high heels, I just wanted to try because it's nice to be in such an intensive workshops for over the whole weekend. And then I was like, okay, I give it a shot. And back then we kind of had frame up strip to because I also did it to unite the girls who do frame up in Czech Republic because we have different teachers who have certification from frame up to that. You know, we have the certificates to be able to represent the style. But we also have some girls who don't have certificate, but actually educated themselves a lot through online or attended my classes like my students. And then I was like, I want that people can find everything related to frame up in Czech Republic and in Prague into one place. So I created frame up strip CZ that people can go to that profile and know everybody who dance frame up in Prague or not only in Prague, in other cities, that they can find the teachers there, the good quality teachers who know the technique, who know the style, and not just some random girls who like put on strip shoes and then they start teaching. I didn't want that random people teach it because it's really require a lot of technical things and you have to know the style in order to be able to teach it to other people. So that's why I created Frame Up to Z. And then through that, I was like, okay, maybe I can try to organize the convention. Then I tried it and it was amazing. It was the first convention was with the Ukrainian strip community and it was really, really amazing. It's always very special because I never ever thought I could do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, where do you even start? Do you like call the teachers you know and be like, hey?
Yeah, I was like, so who I want to invite. Back then, we were in a very close relationship with the Ukrainian strip community because we had one Ukrainian strip dancer, choreographer, amazing, Kate Gladkova. She was here and she kind of raised us a lot up when she came here, I don't know, 2 years ago. She pushed us a lot and we improved a lot. And she was the one who was like, hey guys, you miss this kind of workshops, this kind of events here. You have to do it in order if you want to develop and do better. So that's why, of course, she was teaching. And then I just looked into the other choreographers in Ukraine. And then I found the one which I liked. And I was like, okay, I want to invite those people. So I texted them if they want to come. And some of them never been to Europe or never been to Prague before. So it was amazing. It was a great opportunity for us to learn from them. And so, yeah, so then they all decided in the end. It was very easy and fast. We organized everything very fast.
Yeah, but tell me about the growth. How many dances did you have on that first one, latest one?
First one, I always had like me and Danny because we represent Prague. And I had Kate Klatkova, I had Rita, I had Anastasia June, and I had Kate Ostromogilska. So 6. I always have 6 teachers actually. It's like me and Danny plus 4 who come to Prague. Students, I think we were 42/45, which were for the first time. I was not expecting to get that many, even, to be honest. I was thinking we're gonna have like 20 girls and I will be happy, but we had 42 or 45. I don't remember exactly the number.
Right. And how many were we now
Yes.
in spring on the latest one?
Yeah, May was amazing. May was, I think, around 86 in total,
Wow.
and it was sold out, but also a lot of spots were gone within first week. I think first week, almost 50 people registered. It was crazy. Like my phone was nonstop vibrating from emails and messages. I was not expecting it. I was really worried about the May edition. So yeah, it was very nice to see the support of people and that we became more popular and the whole Europe is coming to our events.
Do you know from how many countries did we come in May?
I think we had Spain, we have UK, we had Latvia, we had Estonia, we had Denmark, we had Greece, we had Amsterdam, we had Germany, we had Poland. So it's 9 countries, which I only know.
Nice.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
that's crazy. That it just breaks my heart. I still can't believe it.
And I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I already have a draft email ready for tomorrow. And I've
I
got the
hope
spot.
so. Yes. I hope so, because this one is gonna be also on fire. I'm telling you already now. That one is gonna be amazing. I'm really looking forward to this edition.
Nice. But now that you've made the frame-up convention in May, is it easier now to invite teachers to,
Yes.
the big representatives? Do they know about us?
Yes, now they know about us because actually, when I was doing the first edition, I was already talking to more of frame up top choreographers from Russia back then when I was doing even the May edition, because I wanted to know if they had like a European visa, if they could travel abroad or not. And actually, when I was talking about it, I was in touch already with Anton Lushichev, that I'm like, how I knew he had European visas, but then we kind of couldn't make it. He was busy, and we figured out already other choreographers, because it was the situation with Maria Smirnova, because she's supposed to come for May edition and then she couldn't. So I was looking for replacement, and then Anton didn't have visa yet. So I wanted to invite Anton instead of Maria, but he didn't have visas, but we were already in touch. And then later on, he got in touch with me himself, and he was like, hey, if I had the visa now, I'm going to go to Europe. If you want to organize the workshops, I would be in for it. And I'm like, wow, thank you. Yeah, sure, let's do it. And then I organized the intensive with him in June. So he was the one who contacted me in June. And also about this convention, which is going to come now in October, one choreographer, she also found me. I didn't contact her. She contacted me, and she is like a discovery for me personally. I didn't see someone so unique and different in frame up world for a long time. Like she's wow. Like I cannot wait to share this girl to everybody, that they can see her, because she's so talented and nobody knows her. And I'm like, how this is possible? So I want to bring more awareness to her and her style. So she contacted me and I was so happy about it. So I, of course, invited her to teach at our convention.
Amazing. That sounds super exciting. And I think you can see the influence of the work you do, because many of us that travel and take classes, this is sometimes our only way to learn. And then we go back home and then we try to get others. So it's working.
Yes, it is. And I'm so happy about it.
But you mentioned your phone goes off the hook and everything. How much work is it for you?
Well, actually, since I'm doing it all alone, I'm the only
Wow.
person. I don't have a team, like a big team. Of course, I have like girlfriends who help me a lot with a lot of things. Of course, I wouldn't be able to organize it all by myself. And actually, last convention, I was struggling so much and I thought I really need a team because I cannot pull this size on myself. It's really difficult to organize, to teach, to be there for the choreographers because they constantly need something. And so my team basically helped me a lot last convention, but it's still like I'm a complicated person and I have a difficult character. So for me, it's not so easy to work with other people in a way of giving tasks to someone. I want to do everything myself because if I give the task to someone and that person doesn't do it well, then I'm pissed and I waste my time fixing that task. And I don't like doing that. So that's why I'm doing everything myself. This way I know that it's done how I like it and how I want it. So because of this, I don't have like an assistant or I don't have a team who is working with me on it. But as I said, my girlfriends help me a lot. And it's a lot to organize. First is location, plus it's like the social media, all the posters and all social media with like Instagram and frame up to that stuff. And of course, the communication with choreographers, the transportation, the accommodation, everything. That takes the most of my time.
So you
Because
reply to
those
all of us.
emails reply. And the thing is that I post everything online pretty, like you can find all useful information, everything you need, you can find online on our either Telegram group or Frame Up to Z Instagram account. But I still get questions in my DMs or on my email about stuff which you can find on Instagram. I write a big email to everybody and there are already answers to a lot of questions like where is the location? Or if the schedule is not announced yet, when it will be announced. You can read it all and it's there. And I still get messages like, where is the location? When the location will be announced or when the schedule will be announced? Even though in this email it stated everything. And this is what takes a lot of my time. And I am like, people, just girls, come on, read it. It's right there. You can all read it.
Exactly.
So,
Everybody read your
yeah.
email. The
Read
address and
your
everything is in there.
emails. Yes. Girls, read your emails. Like really, it's everything is in there. And or just visit our Instagram account. You can find everything there. Or Telegram. Yeah, okay. Telegram also. It has a lot of information. If you scroll up, you can find a lot there as well, like about the previous events.
Nice. But I think it's growing in popularity. I tell you, probably by the time this episode is out, you'll have the convention mostly sold.
I hope so. I really hope so
We're all
because
excited.
for me it's really important. I love doing these events as much as it's like hard and emotionally and physically like exhausting. Like sometimes I don't do only that. I also have like teaching team and my personal life plus conventions. Like really sometimes it's just too much to manage it all. But I love doing it so much because I love to see that we are all going somewhere with this style, that it's become more popular in Europe and more people know about it and more people we have each event. And if in the beginning the events were like we were more beginner levels, now we are not beginner level anymore. Like a lot of girls, they come and they dance and you think, wow, like the level went so much up. And that's why I have to bring top choreographers to the events because the dancers, the girls who come, they are already top level themselves.
Yeah, you're going to have beginner and advanced at some point.
Yeah, I think I would have to because a lot of beginner girls, they are, of course, for them it's super hard, but we just want to learn like difficult things and we want to improve. And that's why I bring the top choreographers that we can learn a lot from them. But it's not
really
easy.
It's really cool what you do, what you add to the community and for all of us. And I think we all kind of meet each other there. Nice to just
Yes,
see how it's growing
yes.
everywhere.
Because you see a lot of
Nice.
girls, they came from like first edition, like it's gonna be their fourth convention. They're coming like to every event. I almost know a lot of them already name by heart because I remember them. Always have the registration from previous convention to see who come again, and a lot of names are just there already, which is very
Nice.
nice.
Tell me about Poison. How did that start?
Poison, oh my gorgeous girls. I can talk about them for hours. Poison. So it also started with the Kate Gladkova influence. She was here, and after one of her classes, we talked again about developing the community, and she was like, if you need a team, and I'm like, no. She's like, no, you really need a team. It's going to push you as a choreographer and as a dancer. It's like a next step which you have to take. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this because I don't have enough people. Again, like I always have this like self-doubt that I'm not able to do it every time I'm starting something. So she was like, no, you can do it. Just try it and you will see if girls are interested, then yes. If girls are not interested, then okay, you tried. So I thought about it and I'm like, okay, since a lot of my students are like, we are in a good relationship, we are either friends or we are like really good friends. So I kind of thought, okay, I will try. So I did like a casting class. So I said, okay, I want to do the team. I had already a vision how I wanted to work. And the name also was like created in a second because Poison is my favorite perfume by Dior. I don't know if you know it, but it's like
Now we know
super
that too.
popular. Yeah, it's super popular perfume. It's like so, I don't know, aggressive. And when you do like one sprinkle, you smell like this the whole day and even next day. It's like super intense, sweet perfume, which I love. And my husband actually gave it to me many years ago. And he was like, this is how he thinks of me. I'm like, thank you, baby. You think I'm poison. So, yeah. So I have this perfume ever since. And I was like, yeah, I want my team to be like so aggressive and like gorgeous and like memorable that people, I don't know, just it's a catchy name. So yeah, and then I did the casting. A lot of girls came. I think I had like 13 14 girls on the casting day. In the end, 9 made the team, and that's how we started with the Poison. I didn't even expect it to be that many and that it will go so well.
Nice. And you girls have done competitions and TV shows?
Yes, we done a lot. We done competitions, we done TV shows, and like some private events. It's been really a lot with them, and I must say that I have huge respect for each of my Poison member girls because I don't know, to be honest, how they do it, because I would go crazy already if I were them. They have their personal life, they all work full time, or they are studying like full time. Plus, they have like the Poison team, and this requires a lot of time. So, last year, when we were preparing for World of Dance Germany, we trained over 100 hours in March. We spent more than 100 hours in the studio preparing for it. So, I don't know how they're doing it. And of course, it was crazy difficult. We were all physically done. We had some injuries because of that. So we decided to have a better schedule that we can balance it all better. But still, it's a lot of work. You constantly committed to a group of people and you're responsible for the result of the team. It's a lot of discipline and so on. So I'm adoring them and I love them from the bottom of my heart, even though we don't have it so easy also between us because we are all charactered, charismatic girls. As you know, it's not that easy, but it's all worth it in the end. Really, it's all worth it.
And I have one more question because for Poison, I know you were the main choreographer, but I saw this last
Yes.
video, which is really, really beautiful and amazing. And you
Oh,
said you
thank you.
co-choreographed?
Yes, so I always choreographed everything for Poison, but the last video which we did, it was just like for fun project because we always were very like aggressive, dark, and like just we had specific vibe for our first number which we did last year for last season. It was like hip hop, dark rap, just really dark music, and our look was like our vibe was like that. Then for this season, I did a bit more commercial, like a super popular song, a bit fun and aggressive still, but like funny, aggressive, sexy. And I wanted to do something like super seductive, sexy. I wanted everybody to see how beautiful they are and how seductive they are. And yeah, so we did it all together. We started creating it all together, and the whole choreography, it's just like some piece we did together, some piece I did, and then for example in the end we have like the leg work. That's one of my Poison member girl, Lisa, she did the leg work there, she's very good in it, and like there and there we created it all together, so it's not fully my choreography.
Nice.
Yes.
Everything that's really cool. And I wonder, what kind of reactions did you get when you went to competitions? And you also competed just by yourself as well.
Yeah, so when we went first time in World of Dance in Berlin, in Germany, we actually didn't even think we would make it there because it's such a top level competition. We had 42 teams competing there with us. Teams which exist already for a while, and we came together just few months before World of Dance. We were like 5 months together training, getting to know each other and stuff. So we thought we would never make it, and then we made it, and we even finished up 11, which were wow for us. Like we were not expecting it at all. The reaction there was actually very good. People supported us a lot, and they were very excited to see the costumes, the strip shoes. When we went to World of Dance Czechia in Brno last year in November, that was completely different because we were in our home country, so a lot of Czech dance community was there. They know that there is frame up in Czech Republic. So because we also attend classes of other styles, and when we get to talk, they ask like, hey, what are you doing? And we're like, yeah, we dance frame up. So it's not like frame up not known in Czech Republic, it is known. So in World of Dance Czech Republic, there were like whole dance community of whole Czech Republic was there. So they knew us. We were way more relaxed. We just enjoyed it way more than we did World of Dance Berlin because it was our home stage. It was the support of our friends and family and of my students, and it just was amazing experience. Like World of Dance Brno was amazing, and we won the award for the best costume, and we missed 0.5. We missed to be the third in the whole team division, which is insane. If you think like frame up team, nobody kind of knows the style, and we still would have made it top 3 in World of Dance Czech Republic, but we were fourth. We were fourth, and we won the best costume. Yes,
Nice.
and also
it's for next year, right?
yeah, we will see. We will see. But also at that World of Dance Czechia, I did do solo as well because I just wanted to try how it feels to be alone on the stage. And it was also an amazing experience, and something really different than what I do with like whole team, basically. When you do solo, it's different.
And you also went to the talent TV show, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we went with Poison to talent TV show this June, and last June I went alone to the same talent TV show. So I'm very curious how they're gonna edit it all, and it should come out on TV in September, I think. So you can see Poison on TV in September on Czech Slovakia Got Talent.
Wow, but that's great because it's all about having visibility, putting yourself out there. It's very brave, but it can be very rewarding.
Yes, it is very rewarding. And for us, going to the talent show, it actually was like a bonding moment as a team to do something like, because it's not competition. So it's TV shooting, so it's really different than competition. And it was really nice experience to be there with the girls. And it was the last event of the season, which we did together, the team, because we also will have now like new members and some members left. So it's going to be new group for this autumn season, which is about to come.
Nice, exciting. So I want to
Yes.
ask you some questions a bit more about you and your own style. How do you see your own style of dancing?
I think that the way I dance frame up is, how can I describe it? It's a bit different in the way of that I have a specific plastic. I have a specific plastic of my body and how I like my body to be moved and how I move my body. And also I have a specific musicality, as like each dancer has their own musicality. So I know the area where I work. I mean, I know the style I'm working in when I do the choreographies, and it's just like I like this sexy flowing choreographies. And also, since I used to do gymnastic professionally for like 12 years when I was a child, I use a lot of these gymnastic things like acrobatics and stuff in my choreographies. But I would say I have a specific style. It doesn't matter what kind of music I do my choreographies on. I always have like my moves, my flow, my transitions, and so on. Even though I'm trying to experiment with them, but it's still me. Even if I looked at like choreographies which I did 2 years ago or now, they still have some similarities up to now. It's not like I completely changed my style. No, I still have my style, which I dance, and when I create, I always stay true to it because I just feel comfortable in it and I like how it looks like. My body just likes to move this way.
And now that you mentioned it, but how do you think your own dance and how you do things has changed from starting?
When I started, I didn't have much experience in creating choreographies or in like teaching. Of course, didn't have any experience because I was a student myself for 2 years before I started teaching. I didn't know how to create, so I just basically used the basic moves of frame up style and I put them onto specific musicality. But I kind of didn't know like truly myself back then as a dancer because I was non experienced. So my choreographies looks very, how can I say, fresh, or I don't know, like just not, I don't know, they look very, I don't know how to describe it in English. Just not, you see it, it's a beginner dancer. You see that it's a beginner dancer who created it. Now I think that I develop a lot. I improve myself a lot. I push myself constantly. I try to work with like speed in choreography since I love fast choreographies, and speed for me is very interesting. I like to experiment with it. Plus, also, the musicality changed a lot. I like the specific style of music, and that's why I work a lot in that style. But even if I do another style of music, which is not really common to me, I still can see how my musicality changed within the years. It's like I hear more sounds, just I hear more in that song, for example, which I would have heard a couple of years ago. And also how I wanna play with the movement and with the sound. It's like in the beginning, if the sound was like big and like sharp and just like short, I would usually do some small impulsive move, which is similar to the sound. And now there are so many movements you can do to same sound. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not always like if you hear like something aggressive and short, you have to do a short move. You can do on a short sound a long and flowy move. So that developed and changed a lot.
And I guess that's also influenced how you make choreos now because having so many groups, that's a lot of choreos to make in a short time.
Yeah, but I actually only make 2 choreographies a month for my groups because I have 2 beginner groups which I teach on like Monday and Friday, and they learn the same choreography. And I have my middle group plus my open level group, and they have the same choreography as well. So it's like I don't do more than 2 choreos a month because it's really difficult for me to do it the same quality, because we usually will learn in my class like 15 seconds per hour or 20 seconds per hour. So I don't know how to, because it's just difficult. I see them not able to learn more they need more time. So my choreographies are difficult also like for beginners. That's why we learn like small pieces each class. So last class we always just clean the whole piece and then we shoot the video. But so that's why I cannot create 4 choreographies the same level. For me it would be really difficult. I don't know if how other choreographers do that, but like I know I cannot do it. I need to just be 2 a month and learn them with 2 groups.
What advice would you give to people who want to start? I'm sure you have people reaching out to you asking that they want to start.
Yes, well, prepare yourself that it's a little bit painful in the beginning because the floor is harsh. I mean, till you know the technique, it takes a while. So prepare for a little bit bruises there and there, and it's difficult physically. You have to have a good physical condition to be able to hold your body in a lot of different poses and shapes on one arm, on one leg, it's really hard. But it's beautiful and it's all worth it, and it's also rewarding to see if you put on in the work, you will see the result in the end.
Those are really good words also for people to just try to step up to it.
Yes.
Yeah, but I do admire your choreos, but I also feel you have this kind of secret thing with these guys with these nice deep voices and this dark R&B vibe.
I love it. I love it. I literally melting. And my soul is melting into this music. Like I'm such a fan of the specific type of songs, and I listen to it outside of my work, basically on everyday life. And they're just like I feel so comfortable. And when I dance on those songs, since I understand the lyrics, it's like my body disappears in it. It's like I lose control of my body and soul into this music. It's a huge part for me as a choreographer to love the song I'm doing my work on so much. So I love it. I love that style which I work in, and I hope people who see the dances I'm doing on this music, they will also like the music as well. It's not only about the choreographies. I want people like these songs.
You need to share a playlist with us.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. It's just my favorite. Music is everything. I'm listening to songs 24/7.
I have one section where I ask kind of the same questions to everybody that I have in an episode. And I see I'm going to have to
Sure.
change my first question because everybody replies the same. So if I ask you boots or sandals, I think I can guess.
Sandals.
Yeah.
Sandals. Sandals. No, no boots.
Sandals are getting higher and higher also.
Sandals are getting higher. Yeah, like actually I've been already for a year dancing on like 23 centimeters. I don't know how many inches is that, but
I think that's
I
9,
wanna,
right?
yeah, 9 probably. Yeah, I wanna go higher. Longer legs. Longer legs.
Longer legs. And you mentioned some names, but who is your frame-up dance icon, main inspiration?
Dasha Popova. I think it's pretty obvious on the style which I do. I love her. Everything she does, from the music she chooses to dance on till the just everything. In my personal taste, I admire her a lot, and I love watching her dance. It's so gorgeous.
Nice. And do you have a favorite choreo or project that you have joined that's not your own?
Actually, her classes was very soul touching to me, because when she came here in May to teach the 2 classes, and then I was so happy and thrilled to be learning from her. Now, I was at her class 3 years ago in Moscow, and I couldn't do anything at all. Like it was terrible. It was so terrible. And then, so I couldn't enjoy it. She was my icon already back then, and even though she wasn't popular at all. But we actually were in the same frame up convention in Moscow also 3 years ago, where I got my certificate, and she was there as well getting her certificate. So we were dancing together. I had a lot of videos from that convention when she's like standing just behind me and learning the choreographies like how I did. And so I liked her already back then. And so I couldn't do anything. And when she came now and she was teaching these classes and I got everything, like, of course, it wasn't perfect. I had an injury, plus my head was full of everything. It was really mentally tough for me to the main convention. I still enjoyed it and I could remember the moves. I understood the musicality. Everything was fine. I could fully enjoy the process and I could fully enjoy the class. And I felt really amazing being a part of it at that moment. I remember I was sitting on the stage and I was like, wow, I can finally learn from her and enjoy it.
Nice. Do you have a favorite choreo of your own?
I think I would say it's the solo which I did to World of Dance Brno, because that one was just like really special to me, since it was dedicated to my husband and we were going through a tough time because I was so busy and he was so busy and we didn't see each other much. And I just wanted to dance for him, and he supporting me a lot in my work, and he didn't see me dancing solo on the stage, and he was going to support me to Brno, and I wanted to dance for him, and it felt so magical because I literally felt like there is no one in that hall, because he was standing in the middle of the audience in front of the judges and was looking at me, and I was dancing for him, and it was so easy, and I love this choreo up to today.
Ah.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Next one is describe frame up in one word. Dun, dun, dun.
Provocative. I would use an adjective. I think frame up is provocative, but it's just it's always like when I talk about frame up to people who are not the dancers or who are dancers, it always raises so much like, oh, the heels, oh, it's too sexy, oh, the girls like who dance it, always just like you're constantly provoking people with this style. So that's how I feel.
And what's the most memorable moment you had as a teacher?
Most memorable moment I had, I cannot name, I think, like one moment, because each time, it sounds silly, but actually each time when I see either my team dancing my choreographies well, like everything went according to the like clean and just like great, they're doing a great job, or just my students, let's say beginner girl who is doing doing the frame up for 2 months and now it's her first time shooting the video of the choreo we learned, and I see them doing this amazing job and improving themselves so much, and how they feel so much more confident inside. And it just like I love in teaching that I see the transformation of the people right in front of me every day, and it's just to see the growth of your students. It's for me the most memorable moment every time I got the chance to experience it. It's not that often, but like I do experience it not just once. It's like when I watch my team performing, or when I watch my students performing, or like just the dancing last class with the shooting. It's really, I think that I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right place in my life, like this is what I'm meant to do. I really meant to teach the frame up and bring this to like more people, more girls, that they feel more gorgeous and beautiful and confident, and just the energy which flows when they dance. I enjoy it a lot.
That's very sweet. Speaking of your students and everything, is there a fun fact about you that you could share that they might not know?
Fun fact, they know a lot about me. No, there is no fun fact, but I would say that they probably don't know, but I actually create choreographies always last minute, like up to the day I have to teach. I might sometimes don't know the song because I have like few which I want to do, and I'm like, okay, which one is it? So I'm driving on my way to the studio and I have the song in the headphones, like a couple of, and I'm like, which one? Is it this one? Is it this one? And then I come like 1 hour before the class and I'm creating a choreo. They probably don't know that.
Stress
Yeah, so
creation.
yes, that's my second name. Everything is on the last minute, and I hate it when everything's on last minute. I do a lot in my life last minute. Unfortunately,
So,
not the best in punctuality.
so what's next for Eve? What's in the future?
Oh, it's in the future. It's a very good question, Morana. I don't know. I hope it's something exciting and interesting. To be honest, right now I have a lot of work. A lot of work, and on top of that I have the convention to organize. So it's really like a lot, and I would like to have a little bit more time to do my personal private life, which unfortunately I don't have so much time to do yet, but I think that I will have enough time in the future. And I really don't know what the future holds, and I'm just excited, whatever it is, and I'm curious where the journey will lead me. But I think that I hope it will be with the frame up, with developing the frame up in Europe, because my goal is that even if I'm not dancing anymore, if I'm not teaching, the frame up community still grows, and I want that Prague is like the biggest frame up community in Europe, that everybody knows about us, and everybody knows that we are not just like beginners. I want that already in Russia they know about us, because I bring these top choreographers from Russia to us. They know about Prague community. So I want that we're just known and like a second home of frame up in the world, that it is Prague. And yeah, so I hope that it will happen, and I don't know how long it will take, but that's kind of in my head when I think about the frame up strip world.
That sounds really exciting. And I must agree, I think I've traveled to Prague like 5 times now so far to take
Yes,
classes. So I think we do
yes.
see it as a center.
I hope so. Like, it's very nice that other countries now are also developing a lot the frame up style, like England and Germany and Netherlands, because there are girls, amazing, talented girls who are there and also pushing it there. Not only those countries, of course, like Lithuania, Estonia, Poland. Europe is slowly growing with this style, but it still needs so much more work and more dancing and more classes and more events like that. But it's just really hard to balance it, because every one of us has a personal life as well. And at some point, it's like, if you wanna dedicate so much time to the cause, that you have to say no to so many other things. So I understand that for some people it's like just hobby, but for some people it's like more like passion, and they do more, a little bit more than just hobby. They do it for other reasons, I think.
Absolutely. I think this is also a nice point to end up about this passion and doing it
Sure,
for a
sure.
bigger cause than just having students and stuff.
Sure, Marana.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you so much for joining me, for taking the time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm very glad. As I said in the beginning, I can talk about frame up for hours. So always welcome to chat about it.
So there you have it. Now we know a little bit more about what it takes to organize big conventions. And I think going to a convention is a great way to kickstart your dance, your creativity, and your inspiration. So, do you have any plans to travel for dance classes soon? See you next time. Bye!